I thought I could stop right before the other song started. Epic fail. No, not an epic fail, just a minor fail. What's up, everyone? Hey, everybody. Welcome to Hey Rockstar Minisode. I am host. Coffee went down the wrong pipe, so let's drink some more coffee. What's up, buddy? Emiliano and Miguel just loves hanging out on my guitar, and Gordy's back there. And just wanted to brighten up your Monday, brighten up your week. Happy Monday. It is Monday. Monday's a mindset. It is one of the best days of the week, in my personal, humble opinion. But we got a good what's it called? A good just Motivation Monday recap for you guys. What happened? Oh yeah. Well, first of all, just announcements today. Episode 48 of Hey Rockstar, interview with Rockstar. The podcast version is out, featuring Daniel Schwa. Daniel Schwa. I said Sway when I first introduced him, and I felt so bad, but it's Schwa. But anyway, go check it out. Some great, especially if you're interested in real estate, but and you want to know a good real estate agent here in Nashville. Out of the 9,000, go check him out. But let's go and get on to what we want to do today. We want to share. How do we want to share it? This way? Boom, there we go. Let's go to the Instagram. To Josafat Emiliano Instagrammy. Let's go ahead and go down. Go down, 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 to where is you? Oh, there it is. Are you ready? Let me unmute it. This was uploaded August 1st of 2016. And I'm going to mute me so there won't be an echo, and then I'll hit play. Cool? Cool, cool. Hello, rock stars. It's Motivation Monday again. Want to make this week the best week ever? Then learn not to make assumptions of others. Don't assume people know what you want. Be clear in your directions. Don't assume people will or will not answer a certain way. Be bold and ask questions. Give others the opportunity to say either yes or no. Sincerity, this is an area that I've been working on myself, learning not to make assumptions of others. When you learn this, you free yourself of so much needless mental stress. Recap, don't assume others know what you want. Be clear in your directions. And don't assume you know what other people answer. Be brave enough to ask questions for clarification. When you learn not to make assumptions, you'll have the best week ever. Much love. Many blessings. Motivation Monday. Motivation Monday. Let's take off the shades, because for these, I like to have my eyes able to converse with you guys too. And I should have started this before I hit the play, but that's okay. 11 minutes of value start now. So, when I first came here to Nashville, I started doing a bunch of different little jobs, odd jobs, and one led me to do stagehand work, and that actually opened up so much opportunity for me to work in theater, and eventually led me to a full-time position at TPAC. But I do remember one time when I was working with IATSE, which is the local stagehand union here in Nashville. Well, IATSE is just, if you know what it is, it is. But I was with Local 46 here. And they had contracted me to go, I think we were tearing down a Broadway show. Anyway, one of the leaders they assigned me to, he said one thing that made perfect sense. Because we were going to tear down, we were doing carpentry. And he's like, all right, guys, this is basically, you guys know what to do. But if there's any doubt, if there's any, just ask questions. Please ask questions. Don't assume you know how to do a certain thing. Just make sure it's clear. He goes, because you know what I say about assumptions, or you know what it says about assumptions. If you make assumptions, and you wind up making an ass out of you and me. Making assumptions is something that I had to work with. Like I shared on that little the motivation video back then. And this book was given to me about the same time that I posted that video. The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. The reason it was given to me because as a speaker and as I was talking to someone, they said, you know what? The way you use your words and the way you're careful with your words remind me of one of the agreements. I'm like, what are you talking about? And she actually had this copy. She goes, she's like, I love giving this book away to people, and she gave me a copy. But the first agreement was be impeccable with your words. And I totally get that aspect. Be clear in what you speak. Because at that time, I was more of a practitioner of affirmations and using your words to speak the life you want. Remember, you are what you speak. It's my little play on when you are what you eat. Well, I believe you are what you speak. So she gave me this book. But as I was reading through and read the other agreements, the point from last time was don't take things personal. Well, this is don't take anything personally, and the second agreement was don't take anything personal, and then the third agreement was don't make assumptions. That's the one I struggled, and the fourth one, in case you want to know, is always do your best. But the assumption part, that was the part that was getting me stuck because I would. And as you read more into that, it makes perfect sense. A lot of us, we make assumptions because we think everyone should know and know how to read our minds, know how to understand what we want. And the make assumptions works both ways. Don't assume you know the right way to do it, and don't assume they understand everything you want them to do. Or I've had this happen before when people make assumptions of me, and when I don't show up to their assumptions, they are offended or they're hurt, and I have no clue what's going on because in their eyes I should have done things a certain way, and I'm like, Sugar Bear, the world doesn't revolve around you. Sorry, I've had to learn on my own journey how to stop trying to please others and start putting capital or putting an investment into me because God has given me a dream that I need to start pursuing for His glory. I need to start doing what He's called me to do. And although I'm a giver, I'm constantly can help others out. And yes, part of my business and part of my walk is helping others. But you can't just assume that just because I'm a giver that I will naturally always be there to give for you or be able to. Anyway, not trying to say that. I'm just like, but also it was my fault because I assumed they knew that. And I had to make sure they're clear. Like, no, my position is I'll help you with that I can, but I can't promise you to go beyond what I can. Although there's some who like, just do a little bit more. And if I can, if it's in my capability to do it, yes. But assumptions. When we assume that a person is going to answer a certain way or act a certain way, we kind of take free will out of their rights. We kind of owe it to them, don't we, to at least tell us yes or no. One of the biggest fears, and a place where a lot of people make assumptions is in future relationships. Now, there's some people who have found the boldness and the courage to just ask someone out or take the initiative to say, "Hey, I'm going for this." But a lot of people, what holds them back, maybe it is the fear of rejection, or they assume they're going to be rejected. They assume that someone's not gonna is not gonna give them a chance, or like, okay, maybe not. Yeah. Let's stick with the relationship topic. And if you have any kind of respect for that person, if you have any kind of admiration for that person, you at least should give them the chance to decide whether they want to or not, whether they want to say yes or no. Because by us not even letting them say yes or no means we don't respect them enough to give them that chance, because we just make that choice for them by making an assumption. This is a very not dangerous or touchy topic, but a lot of us, especially a lot of us who didn't grow up with big families or didn't grow up with much of a variety of other people's opinions and views, especially for like maybe smaller only children, or in my case, I was like there was a very large gap between my siblings and myself, that by the time I was up to the part where things made sense to me, my older siblings were usually not around me because they were out at school or out wherever. Actually, one, I was 3 years old or 4 years old when the oldest got married, so she was technically out of the house. So when you're the only child, you just assume, or you just, everything kind of goes your way, and it's not always that way. But anyway, don't make assumptions. There's two main things that I want you to focus on. Don't assume that people, don't assume answers for others. Give other people around you respect enough to answer you yes or no. And the other thing, when you're giving direction, when you're giving instruction, when you are asking people to help you or work for you or whatever, don't assume that they understand or that they know how to do it the way you want it to be done. Don't assume like, yes, we're going to build this fence, and they could have a whole other way of building the fence. If it works, cool. But if you want it and if you need it done a specific way, then please be clear in your instructions. Let the person know we're going to build this fence, but we need to build it this way because this is the order that we desire. However, what I enjoy as a leader is I will create certain boundaries. As a director, that's it. As a director, that's perfect. Perfect. How much time we got left? All right, cool. Perfect. As a director, when I first jumped into the role, I made assumptions that everyone was going to give me the shots that I wanted. And I said, everyone, just jump on and we'll see how we go. And as I noticed that, well, without direction, people will naturally go for the shiny. By shiny, mean the lead singer. Let's just put, we have like multiple singers on stage, and they all go for the lead person, different angles. It's great. And not knowing, then of course you don't have much of a choice because it's all the same. So as I learned to develop my eye, I learned to tell a story in general. I realized I had to give everyone. I gave them flexibility, but I also had to give them structure and boundaries. And I said, all right, you are here, and I know that you want to capture all these cool looking images, but I definitely need you to give me band, or let's say drums. But I'd give them like a boundary or where they can work from drums to the guitars to the musicians, and then I would say stick on this shot. Once I get off of you, you can actually change locations, audience shots. You know, we get from that angle, you can get audience, but you also can get a great angle of the people on stage. And of course, the temptation is always to go to the shiny again, to go to the lead singer. And sometimes I need that, but most of the times, like, you know what, give me someone besides the lead singer. I give them those boundaries, so they at least know, okay, I can work with this. But I also give them a sense of creativity, like, hey, but if you see something that's just in these boundaries, within this, that is in your orders that I'm asking you, or what I'm asking you to capture within this framework. If you see something unique and creative, capture it. Even if it's just a little off, but you're kind of still in respect to the frame that I'm giving you, then try it. And that allows for them to be creative, to be experimental, to maybe crouch down a little bit. We had one guy put like some kind of reflected things that gave it a little bit of extra pizzazz. Anyway, I'm not gonna get into all that stuff, but I'm just saying, once I was able to give everyone a certain boundary, gave everyone clarification, what I needed from them, what I expected from them, what was important for me to be able to tell the story in its entirety, everyone stayed within their boundaries. Everyone stayed within their frame. And it allowed me as a director to be able to see the whole room, the whole picture, capture everything's going on, and be able to, as the music's going, as the speaking's going, as things are happening, then I can tell the whole story from different perspectives, from different angles, from what best captures the moment or the action going on. But I had to first learn how to set these boundaries, how to be clear, not to make assumptions that just because they're camera people and they've probably been there longer than me, that they will know what I want. And so I had to learn to explain these things to them. And the one thing that I also learned is when you're clear and you give people that creative freedom to express themselves, but within boundaries that you're clear that you need, it made them better operators, not just for myself, but for my whole company and as a whole. Because now, when I go back and I go watch, or even whenever I'm not directing, I traveled a lot these past few weeks. I've been every weekend. It seems like I've been gone for so many weekends, and I'll get on and I'll watch the live stream. I can see that's awesome. That's awesome. And I'm not sure if the director is also giving direction what they need, or I'm sure they are. But a lot of people who are working within these boundaries have learned, you know what? Let's instead of just doing our own thing and guerrilla warfare and just trying to, or guerrilla style camera operating, let's all stick within these certain boundaries that we're. What I'm trying to say is, I'm starting to see like a lot of my creative ideas that I've shared with them being put to practice, even though I'm not there. And I'm excited because that's kind of like the artist, the artist. Everyone tries to mimic someone else. That book, and I'm giving you way more than 11 minutes, and that's okay. The book by Austin Kleon, Steal Like an Artist. He takes that quote from Pablo Picasso. I don't know why I'm going this route instead of sticking with assumptions, but just stick with me here. Great artists borrow, or good artists borrow, great artists steal. But he says no matter how great of an artist you are and making a copy, there's always something different. There's always something slightly off, and that little slightly off thing is what defines you, what distinguishes you as a creative. But anyway, back to assumptions. World will be easier and less stressful for you if you first stop assuming people know what you're thinking and just be clear, and stop assuming that you understand how to do a certain thing. Ask questions and make sure you know what the person needs. That way there's no mistake, there's no do-overs, and you don't make an ass out of you, and you definitely don't make an ass out of me. Anyway, Rockstar, that is today. Assumptions are for asses, and that is today's Monday. Hey, Rockstar mini-sode. Episode 48 is out. I'm actually excited about this Thursday. I think it's gonna be a solo. It's gonna be just you and me again. But this Thursday, I'm going to a motivational seminar, and the two main people that are gonna be there that I want to see is Robert Kiyosaki from Rich Dad Poor Dad, and Les Brown. The DJ himself, motivational speaker. You gotta be hungry. And there are a bunch of other titles, a bunch of other speakers gonna be there. But as a speaker, I want to go to this thing to watch, to observe. I enjoy the performance and to network. Who knows who I'll meet, to open opportunities to possibly go and share my stories, to help others, to go to their corporations and help their associations or their company learn how to detach from failure, take ownership, and develop the right mindset to then go and become the rock star of their association, the rock star of their company, the rock stars of their lives. Because that's what we're about here at Hey Rockstar. You might not feel it yet, but no, with a little help, added value, you too can detach from failure, take ownership, and develop the right mindset, and then become the rock star of your industry. So until next time, this is Josafat, Emiliano, Miguel, and much love, many blessings, all the way from Nashville.